Welcome to Whiskey's Journey. My name is Peter Fasciano, and you are watching my Monday series currently on single pot still Irish whiskey. Today, we're still sticking around in the Middleton Distillery. We're going to be taking a look at an offering from Redbreast. This is going to be their Kentucky Oak Edition. Let's go ahead and pour it, nose it, taste it, and talk about it a little bit. If you stick around until the very end, I'm going to give it a score as well. Upcoming, I have the Redbreast 21, the Red Spot 15, and then I'm going to finish my Irish whiskey series with the Redbreast 27. So if you are new to this channel and you're not subscribed and you think you're going to like this information, or if you do like this video, do me a favor and subscribe to the channel. Turn on the bell notification because I publish videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. My next series is going to be a series of 5 international whiskeys. And then I'm going to move on to single barrel bourbons. Let's go ahead and get this thing on nose and see what we got. Talking about bourbon, if you are a bourbon lover, or if you are interested in bourbon and not necessarily interested in Irish whiskeys, this is very reminiscent of a bourbon. And I think that could be because of the finished barrels that this is finished in. It's finished in the finest American oak casks from the Taylor family, terrible eyesight, it's ridiculous. Taylor family Elk Cave Farm. I think that's it. And it's my understanding that they build these barrels, they have the staves, and I think they ship them over to Middleton. They assemble them, and then they finish their traditional Irish whiskeys in here. And it's basically the same thing. They mature it in ex-Oloroso and ex-bourbon for a certain amount of time, and then they throw them into these finishing casks. Now, underneath that bourbon note, which is the traditional vanilla, honey, brown sugar, caramel, you still do get those sherry notes. So this is going to be some fruitiness in here. And on top of the vanilla that you're getting from that oak cask, I'm also getting the vanilla from the bourbon, the ex-bourbon barrels. So this is vanilla on top of vanilla. Get a slight amount of spice, and the fruit notes that I'm getting are a little bit darker. I don't think this is figs, dates, and raisins, but maybe on the dark cherry side, and maybe a lighter raisin, but it's definitely sweet. All right, before I get this on the palate, well, actually, I'm going to get this on the palate, talk a little bit about the information of the whiskey, like the specs of it, let this soak in for a little bit and see if I can pull some notes out of it while I'm giving you the information. Like I mentioned, this is the Redbreast Kentucky Oak. It is a single pot still Irish whiskey, 50.5% ABV, that's 101 proof. It's non-chill filtered, and I don't know if it's natural color or not. Doesn't say anything about the color on the box or on the label. It's matured in ex-bourbon and ex-Oloroso for an undetermined amount of time, so it's non-age statement. And then they take it and they finish it in these Kentucky oak barrels. And the information that I saw, it looks like they are finishing the whiskey within anywhere from like 3 to 7 months. 750 milliliter bottle, and I paid $119.99, and I'm in Phoenix, Arizona, if you don't know. With that out of the way, as this is sitting on the palate, I would say that the finish is rather long. It is sweet, it is spicy. I'm definitely getting a good amount of barrel as well. I mentioned it earlier, and I'll probably mention it again. This is not a traditional Irish tasting single pot still whiskey. Let's get that second sip down, see if anything changes. I'll add some water to this, and I don't think there's really much to say about it, so I'm gonna jump right into the score. Upfront sweetness, get a little barrel and oak on the side. The vanilla note shows up, the spicy shows up. On the back of the palate, the vanilla is there as well. And then the darker fruit notes, that cherry and the, what is that note? It's the cherry. And yeah, probably raisin. I would say raisin. That lighter raisin note shows up. And then it rounds out and finishes with a pretty good oak note. I do get a little bit of dryness as well, which is surprising because I've never had any kind of dryness with Redbreast before. But this seems to dry out the palate a little bit. Let me get one more sip, add some water to it. That ABV is pretty dominant. The ABV along with the spice makes the drink a little bit hotter. Actually, you take a sip of water. Yeah, on that sip it got really, really spicy. And it's my understanding that this is the first release of this wood finishing series using the American Oak. So American Oak series, and this is from Kentucky. And from what I can gather, this was an exclusive North American release. All right, that third sip that I had is still lingering. So the finish on this is rather long. That spice on that third sip took me by surprise. I was not expecting that. The 50.5% ABV is rather nice. I enjoy that. I like the fruitiness and I like the spice that's involved. Obviously the vanilla, the caramel, the toffee. I know I didn't say toffee earlier, but the toffee is there as well. The fruit notes, all of that, pretty good. Let me get this last sip down, see if I can pull anything else out of it, and then let's give this thing a score. All right, well that is interesting. That dulled the sweetness. It is now a little bit more bitter. The oak is really standing out. I'm not getting much of the toffee and the vanilla. I don't like what water has done to this at all. It's definitely elevated the oak. It is sucking the moisture out of my mouth. It's very, very dry. I would not suggest putting water in it. So let's get on to the score. If you are new here, my scoring system is out of 5 stars. Because of the oak that is present, the vanilla, the toffee, those traditional bourbon flavors are there, along with the level of sweetness without the water. This elevates it a little bit. It's a little bit forgettable as far as the lineup goes. It is not one that I would reach for on a consistent basis. If I wanted an Irish whiskey, I would definitely reach for something that actually tasted more like an Irish whiskey, and this does not. Limited availability, also being 119. I think I said 119, or did I say 114? $119, basically $120 in my area. Price definitely has a factor in it. I am going to put this one at 3.25. 3.25. It sounds really low, but it's not necessarily my jam as far as an Irish whiskey. Let me know in the comments down below. Agree with me, disagree. Do you like this? Do you not like it? And with that, that's where I'm going to leave it. I hope you guys are enjoying your journey because I'm enjoying mine, and we'll talk to you later.